Wilder Fury 3?
You know, there is no mediation. I mean, there has been. Over Christmas and New Year, there was mediation. I don't know. Maybe the mediator will be able to solve the situation. But, you know, we got a real problem because Tyson Fury has said to me and to the mediator that not today, not tomorrow, and not ever would he ever fight Wilder after what Wilder said to him. He regards it as a slur not only against him, but against the Gypsy Nation.
And
wow, those are the words of Bob Arum. Bob Arum was recently on an interview with Barbershop Conversations, and of course Fred from Barbershop Conversations asked him how was the mediation going, and he said something quite strange. He said, well, there is no mediation at first. Then he pondered more and said that, well, you know, yeah, they went to a mediation over from Christmas through to New Year's, and hopefully they can come to a rectifiable decision or whatever. But that was rather confusing because he just said there wasn't any mediation. But this is what was important that stuck out. He said there is a big problem because Tyson Fury has said that he will never, ever share a ring with Deontay Wilder again after the slurs and the comments that Deontay Wilder made while he was confessing his feelings about the rematch in that fight. So what ended up happening was Deontay Wilder backstory. For those who don't know, okay, for those who don't know what happened, Deontay Wilder was on Brian Custner, and he said that Tyson Fury and the whole nation, or should I say the race or whatnot, or community of gypsies, are all foul. They're all tricksters. They all do shady shit, and all of them are slick, and basically said none of them were no good. You know, they basically, you know, they're known for the things that they do, and Tyson Fury, for that reason, said that he would never ever fight Deontay Wilder. Now, some things I want to talk to you guys about. First off, Tyson Fury has that right to say that. That's a personal claim because it was a personal attack, you know. And if for one thing you should never do, you should never blame a whole group of people that one person that did you wrong that is involved in. You never do that. Now, for shits and giggles, let's just say Tyson Fury, because I always come to a conclusion in the fair assessment of doing this: do unto others as you have them do unto you. So let's switch the script. What if Tyson Fury got knocked out by Deontay Wilder and started making false accusations about him and said, you know what, all black people are all slick and they're all sketchy, they're no good, all of them want to get over on you, and they're all schemesters and scamsters, and you know what I mean? And he's basically said the same thing. Do you understand Tyson Fury would be burned at the stake? And understand, it is rather a double standard, absolutely. Why? Because no one gave Deontay Wilder that type of ridicule like they would have gave Tyson Fury that ridicule if Tyson Fury would have pulled that same shit. If he would have said that same shit, and he would have blamed a whole race of people, the whole black/African race of people, because Deontay Wilder did something to him, he probably would, you know what, they'll probably do him like Ty Booth. 100%. They would probably, he would get his license stripped from the, because look, making those type of slurs, hell to the no. You know, so Wilder didn't get half the ridicule that he would, like that Tyson Fury would have received. He wouldn't have got that type of ridicule. you know, and it just shows you, it shows that Deontay Wilder was that bothered by getting beat. He still ain't been able to take that loss like a man. He ain't. You know what I mean? And I don't think that Deontay Wilder was racist. I think he was just really bothered by the fact of losing, that he went to that level, you know, of blaming everybody to prove his point that Tyson Fury cheated him. So how would you further do that? Say everyone that he grew up and that's associated with him, that's in his same community, does the same things. It was a dirty move, but it just shows you how far he was willing to reach to try to prove a point to people or whoever would listen, that, hey, I was cheated by this guy. He comes from a race of cheaters, or a society of cheaters, you know, or a community of cheaters, or whatever. Because I know gypsies is not a race, right? So, you know, he did that. You know, he's no good, and he can't be no good if his people are no good. You see what I'm saying? So Tyson Fury decided, look, I'm not going to fight you again. But again, that's personal. He took a personal offense to that. But what doesn't clear anything up is the business side of it. You have personal and you have business. Okay? So obviously the mediation is business. So what happens business-wise? I know Tyson Fury don't care to fight Deontay Wilder again. A lot of people don't want to even see that fight again. However, business-wise, business referencing the contract, is it valid or is it not valid? Because I don't think Bob really knows. He went from there is no mediation, then to oh well, hopefully they come to a solution. See, that type of stuff. Now, if Tyson Fury knows he's not going to fight him or whatever, and he's disregarding the business side of it, okay, well, let bygones be bygones. Take your losses, you know. And it was weird because Fred from Barbershop Conversations had this to say about the belt.
When was this conversation?
What?
When was this conversation?
Yeah. When was the conversation?
Yeah.
It was, he talked with Weinstein a couple of weeks ago, and with me over the weekend.
Okay.
I mean, within a day or so. Yeah, I mean, a few days, you know.
So is he willing to release the belt? The WBC belt?
Why would he have to release the belt?
I'm just, because of I'm saying if the mediation goes in favor of Wilder, in your opinion, do you think?
Then he has to decide whether he wants to defy any kind of order. I mean, you know, I don't want to get into legality.
Okay. So basically, he doesn't know. But, okay, backstory on that about the WBC belt. There is a rumor that Tyson Fury, only a rumor, okay, because as of right now, and it's a rumor because it hasn't been proven to be true. Supposedly, there is some inside information about Deontay Wilder, and if it rules in Wilder's favor, Tyson Fury would have a choice to, like, he has to give up the belt or be fined or whatever the case is, you know, which that would be shitty for a real reason, and then for a lot of reasons. For one, Tyson Fury thinks that, hey, you know, he's getting a fight with Anthony Joshua, and Anthony Joshua, this big money fight with him and Fury. But here's the thing. I don't think Anthony Joshua would fight Tyson Fury without that WBC belt. That's why I keep telling everyone that would listen, he needs to wait to see what happens with this mediation, because people still don't know. Bob Arum, he don't know. He's just saying, I don't want to get into legal, I don't know, and this, that. He doesn't know. Okay? So, and he definitely didn't know, well, why would he have to give up the belt? Right? Why would he have to give up the belt to Wilder? Right? And then, of course, he was explained by Barbershop Conversations or whatever. And he was like, oh, well, he has to be faced with a decision if that's the case. See, it's a lot of things that Bob Arum doesn't really know about. You know what I mean? But, I mean, how is he going to know about a rumor? You know what I'm saying? So we don't really know what's true and what's not. All we know is Tyson Fury said 2 weeks ago, so it's the 13th. So that was a little bit right. That was probably before the beginning of the year that he reiterated that I do not want to fight Deontay Wilder again. If that's the case, they shouldn't worry about anything. They should cut the losses, you know, and move on and fight Joshua. If they get sued, okay, whatever. Right? But it's going to be bad all the way around. And I believe this. Tyson Fury, if he's faced to giving up the WBC belt, he's not going to get the Joshua fight, according to the consistency of how Joshua wants that WBC belt. He won't take that fight unless the WBC belt is attached to it. It wouldn't make any sense for him to drop a belt only to find out that I'm going to fight Fury without getting a fucking belt. It wouldn't make no sense. That means Joshua could then turn around and say, you know what? I've wasted all my time. I've dropped the WBO belt, and then you dropped it to Wilder. Let me fight Wilder for the belt. Counterpunch. But that's if Wilder even wants to fight Joshua, because he said it again and again, because he didn't even name Joshua as one of his opponents on his comeback trail. So that should tell you volume. That speaks volumes alone right there. But, you know, if I'm Joshua, I would not give up one of my belts that I defend, right? Something that Tyson Fury's never done. And if he drops the belt and fights Anthony Joshua, he's not defending anything still to this day. So it's a cluster all the way around. But what this tells me is Tyson Fury has no interest in fighting Deontay Wilder because of the racial slurs. So at least we have an answer from a Fury. But what does it really mean business-wise? That remains to be seen. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Bob Arum's statements about Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.